Okay, should be working. All right, there we go. Look back on futures market open like Asia, London. Dog, we've been just trending up since like we've been trending up. We were choppy maybe around like Asia time, maybe even London time, but after that we've just been trending. Some nice trend. I love to see that. That's the thing. Like these times, like you're tempted to want to try to catch the whole piece, the whole pie, but like you always want to stick to your rules and just get your piece of the pie and get out. I got wicked up for the market before market. I knew I was gonna get the BBC, but I got in early. Yeah, we got a weird BBC going on over here. I don't know what happened, but yeah, we got 30 more seconds left, and then market will be open. All right, there we go. Already pushing past this high, kind of strong, or not pushing past it, but approaching it. But now we're dumping. So yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see us ideally push past above this high for us to look for a pullback trade. There we go. That's what we wanted. Damn. What's up, Kazi? Getting a lot of strength out here. This is beautiful. I like to see that we've kind of confirmed and we're continuing this uptrend. What's up, Leewalk? Now I'm ready to take any pullback trade if we do get one. Drake going crazy. We're getting huge Drake candles to the upside. Or should we say oral candles? All right, let's get out of this line out of the way. Again, we do have news at 10 a.m., so we want to be careful. Approaching that. Powell speaking again today, so let's see if we can get a W or any trade before that. Put day shit on. Might begin that retracement here. All right, getting close to the SMAs. Once we get a tap, yeah, there we go. We got a tap in there. We want this to give us a green candle closing out without touching the bottom red SMA, but we ended up touching it. Okay. When we touch the bottom red SMA, like we did right there, that invalidates it, invalidates the pullback. tells me, okay, the pullback's too strong for this specific setup, we're not going to take it. Even if it doesn't close below the red estimate, that still means I'm not taking it. If it just wicks it, still invalid, makes the trade lower quality, so I'm not taking it. What I want to wait for now, I want to wait for a price to break this swing high to show that, all right, we are ready to continue, or we still want to continue because we're making new swing highs. We still want to continue this uptrend. Other than that, if we don't get that, I'm not taking a setup to the upside. To the downside, I'll take a step to the downside, but we got to move a lot to the downside to kind of shift our trend. So this is what I'm looking for right now. If this happens, I'll look for a bullish trade. Or I use 200 SMMA, not EMA. No, I used a 200 EMA. So many buyers, I knew it had to be a big sell-off. Should have waited. What's the difference between EMA and SMA? Is there any real difference? The main difference between EMA and SMA is just the fact that EMA puts slightly more weight on the recent price action and it's like calculation. So, honestly, I've just seen it like perform better for my specific style of trading. Like I've seen it for the specific strategy kind of give more wiggle room to the price action, and sometimes it helps when you have that. So I just use EMA. I used to use the 200 SMA, but now I use EMA. But honestly, there's like most of the time it's gonna be this. It looked almost the same. You're gonna be taking the same setups. I'm about to bang. Did you bang there, Rita? Just bang? There we go. W. Nice, bro. You got like 2 dubs yesterday too, right? 2 dubs, 1 loss. Nice. So we broke this high. All I'm waiting for now, pullback continuation again. That's it. Same thing as earlier. Retracement to the SMAs, candle closing out green. That's my entry. Now we just wait. Rate structure. No, I don't look at or I don't know if you're asking about how Rita trades. Yeah, we're getting some nice strength to the upside. I like this. Even though that's funny to see this just setup that was like low quality still ended up working out, but it's usually the case when you have a good environment. When I say good environment, I mean an environment where we're trending strong to the upside. Did I miss anything? Nah, you're good, Donnie. Everything. I should have said you missed like you missed like a fat W trade. That's evil. You gotta be locked in, Donnie. 7 minutes late. What is this? Had to walk dogs. Entered long off the retest, catching it all right now. W, bro. Yeah, Rita, your strat's pretty simple. That's fire. That's the one that you've tested, right? W. Yeah, right now I'm still waiting for a pullback. We still have pretty strong trend, even though we are starting to be slightly like kind of choppy. Still waiting for it to pull back here. First time joining the live trading. Glad to be here. A W, Pablo. Happy you're in here, brother. Simple, effective, fire. I usually only trade off OB, but I'm still trying to learn more strats. I want to learn from Aro. Go right here. A W, Levi. Yeah, I used to trade off of order blocks as well, like in the over a year ago. But yeah, it's all about finding a style that makes sense to you and kind of suits your trading style and the way you want to trade. All right, I played around with many different trading styles. Like the one I found the most consistent in is momentum-based trend following strategies. That's what I think is my bread and butter. Trend following, um, entering off of strength, and riding the trend. Some people like mean reversion where they reverse the trend. That also works. You just have to develop a strategy around it and test it and get an edge out of that. So right now we're just moving up and doing short pullbacks and not getting to our SMAs, but that's okay. Patiently waiting. Anyone else hands off when Powell speaks? I mean, that's how we're gonna be, Pat. When Powell's speaking, we're not gonna be taking anything. So we want to wait till 10 a.m. until Powell speaks, and then because you never know, sometimes Powell speaks and there's like crazy volatility out of nowhere, and price like yesterday, price ended up chopping real bad when he was speaking as well. So we're going to be hands off. We're also slowly approaching the SMAs again. And we tapped it there. Now, what I'm waiting for, again, green candle. Okay, give me green candle close. That'll be my entry. And my target will be the swing high. Or a 1-to-1 if this ends up closing pretty strong. Yeah, it looks like it's closing pretty strong. All right, a few more seconds till the candle closes. Okay, I'm in that. TP at 1-to-1 RR. Or actually, no, TP at the swing high. Yeah, TP at the swing high because we can fit that on our RR. Let's see this bang TP or not. Come on. Getting some strength in there. So, come on. Pushed up close. After 1-to-1 RR, okay, we moved 1-to-1 RR. I'm moving my stops to break even just because I want to keep it simple. With Powell speaking especially. Come on, let's hit a bang right here. So my stops at break even now. Come on. A little bit of strength. A little bit more. There we go. TP smacked. Bang, baby. Run up some W's in the chat if y'all caught that. Let's go, baby. W's. Run up some W's for me if y'all took that. Come on. Let's go. Nice ass trade before Powell speaks. Same time trade again. W, fam. Let's get
They've
it.
been playing out so fast this week.
Dude, they play out so fast. I love it when these are like mini scalps like this. Laser entry at 22,535. Why 1-1 RB? I was just going over the trades, Everest. I think, especially with like this trading style, going break even after 1-1 is gonna help the win rate a lot rather than doing it after 1-2, and it still gives us like some really good trades. Very like a handful of times it ends up hitting our break even and then hitting TP, but a lot of times it protects it by hitting the like break even early and then not getting stopped out, because sometimes like we don't have the momentum to continue pushing, and since these are like scalp trades, you're in and out very, very quick. It doesn't always run. But see, the trades that are like this are perfect. The ones that are between 1-1 and 1-1.5, those are beautiful. Those are perfect. Those are perfect because they're not asking for too much, and you guys have seen over the past like week or past week, yeah, we've ended up getting a lot of these 1-1 ish or 1-1.5 or maybe even 1-2s, and they've been hitting because lower risk to reward, higher win rate. Now, if we do dip back in here, that will be another opportunity to take a second trade, but we're slowly approaching Powell. We want to be careful, so where do I find your Arogator settings? Leowalk, if you want to check out the settings, it's in the trading chat. I have it pinned as well. You can check it in the trading chat in the pinned section. So we might be tapping in here again. Okay. Tapped in there again. If we get a green candle closing out, I'll take that bad boy again. We need another green candle closing out. That'll be my entry for this specific trade. All right. Need a green candle. Nah, no green candle there. See, it's how we wait. We got a fat BBC right when the candle opened. And we tapped the bottom of this red SMA. So what does that mean? Invalidation. We wait for the high to get hit, or wait for the swing high to come back and get taken out, and then we look for continuation again. Thanks for the chance to be here for free. Of course, Gary, of course. I'm trying to give as much value as I can, man. Back to try FX for whole August. Came out plus game profits win rate was like 50%. Yeah, that's the thing. With the 2-1 R, you're gonna have probably like a 50 to 55% win rate. And then when you backtest, like I'm sure if you backtest this past year, it's gonna be also really green as well. So you took a W, yeah, Reed. We took a W when you weren't here. Hopefully, Donnie, were you here to see that too? Yeah. Yeah, so also people asking questions about like your indicators. Rita up in the chat. But yeah, if we don't get this within the next like 10 minutes or so, then we're not going to be taking that kind of trade, even if we get it after the 10-minute mark, because Powell is speaking in 12 minutes. We want to be a little bit careful. Have you taken a trade yet? Yeah, we took Leo a W like right before, a few minutes ago, but that's about it. Make sure the W. Pablo, I usually look at my PNL at the end of the day, so I don't like think about my PNL while I'm trading. I try to trade based off the chart and not my PNL. So I'll look at it when we're done trading, and I'll let you guys know what I'm up, how much I'm up. So Ninja Trader say the amount that you're risking, or is it the same as trade ovate? What do you mean? Where say like where? Are you saying like before you get into trade? It doesn't say the amount you're risking. Jesus Christ, what are these BBC to the downside? It doesn't say the amount you're risking. It just tells you you can set like an ATM strategy with the amount of like stop loss, with ATM strategy with your stop loss and your points. Damn, we're just falling here. Let me pick back up though. A lot of mini ROs. All right, buddy. Mini more like major. If it breaks, so just seems to be rejecting right now. So now she's all right. Why are you capping, bro? But yeah, we've done pretty hard. If you want to take a bearish trade, it's not ideal, but rules are rules. Below the 200 EMA, bearish bias. Obviously, we want to wait for also the 1 minute to kind of hold below the 200 EMA right here as well. Get like double confirmation, and then pull back to the green and red estimates. We'll take a bearish trade. Done for the day, got 7 hour drive home. Was able to take a W for leaving home vacation. Starting such a W. Hey, W Zabuza, bro. Zabuza, have you taken a loss during your vacation? I think you've only taken dubs on vacation, bro. Yeah, but it was still the strat W. That's what matters. Still with the strat, it's all that matters. Up 400 for the vacay though. Fire. Hey, you made your money back for the vacay. Obviously, it's not a payout, but you get what I mean. Need 600 more to pass these 5 evals. You're edging those 5 evals. Come on. You got it. Or get it performing very good lately. Yeah, we've had some really good price action recently. We've been on a pretty like decent win streak. Testing a long on paper for now. Another retest, just a test. So far in green. Like, see, guys, even though we tapped into here and we're getting like bearish confirmation right here, I'm not gonna enter. The reason being, we're above the 200 EMA right here. We want to be below the 200 EMA for us to take an entry. Is it bad that I trade the same strategy but got a minimum of 1.5 R? So the trade took, I hit BE on. The trade, it's not bad. This, you could definitely test that out. I haven't necessarily tried a minimum of 1.5 RR. I've done with a minimum of 1 to 1 personally because I like keeping a lower RR and a high win rate. The thing with minimum 1.5 RR, now you might lose a few trades here and there that I'd take about a 1 to 1 RR on. And if you have 1 to 1.5, let's say you might lose. Let's say you ended up losing on this trade. There's gonna be other trades where you make more money than I do. Like, if you take 2 trades that are 1.5 RR and I take 2 trades that are 1 R, you'll be up 1 RR like on your P&L compared to me. So if you lose your next trade, then we'll be on the same level as me winning 2 trades. You winning 2 trades and losing a trade is the same as me winning just 2 trades because you have a minimum 1.5 RR. So there's going to be times where I win and you lose, and there's going to be times where we both win and you make more money than me by 50%. So it's not bad, but I also like to enter on the 28th second of the candle closing the best fill. Yeah, I enter on like the 29th, probably halves, 29.5 second. Do you mind if I ask how you calculate your stop loss? I've just been rounding the ATR to the nearest 10th for my stop loss. This trade was 10 points. For me personally, Ali, I put my stop loss at the lowest point of the pullback. Lowest point of the pullback. Right here, right? We had this pullback. Before we got our entry candle, my stop loss is going at the lowest point of the specific pullback. That's it. Okay, I wish I would have taken this trade on my prop because it's working. I would have TP'd. No, I'm not going to be greedy for prop. Yeah, James, come on. Can't be a woulda, coulda, shoulda trader. We can't let that woulda, coulda, shoulda get to our head. Right? You can't think, oh, I should have taken this trade. I would have done this. I would have done this. Why don't you put below the pullback to consider spread fills? Stop. Oh. Honestly, I haven't been thinking about it. I just said it quickly like this, and then I on my chart I kind of do it the same way. I know obviously spread is a thing when coming to the stop loss, but I've literally just been doing it like this. See you guys tomorrow. Stay up. Of course, Pat. Take care, brother. Fact, just doing a test, but patience key, 100%. As long as you know the intention was for testing purposes and just like testing stuff out, then that's all that matters, right? You want to keep the intention strong and clear. For me, it'll close the candle at 20 seconds on Top Step. Okay, yeah, then maybe Top Step X platform is a little different. But W, boys. Again, if we want to look for a long trade, we're going to have to see it come all the way up to here. But it is 9:58 Eastern, so we do have Powell at 10 a.m. We'll want to be careful of that. So, yeah, we're not going to be trading during Powell. That's for sure. How long does Powell last? Honestly, it depends. Like sometimes he's like on for like 15, 20 minutes, but usually he's on like yesterday was on till like the end of our trading session. I have a problem bouncing around stress. Sometimes I use alligator, sometimes I incorporate gay iced teas that you hate. Sometimes I play orb. It's hard for me to lock into one. My advice, Audrey, my advice is first of all, why are you jumping between strategies? What's your mindset to want to switch strategies? What's going through your head to want to try a different strat, for example, for the day? Like, is it because maybe you're losing with one strat, you try to jump to the next one, or maybe you're curious how the other one's performing, or maybe you just think, oh, more strategies, or more trades, the better. What is your like? What are you thinking? What is your kind of thought process from doing that? Or are you using just a set number of contracts, or do you calculate your risk according to your stop loss distance? I estimate my contract sizing based on my stop loss distance. So if I normally see like, okay, 10-point stop, I'll enter with 3 contracts. If I want to go like regular size, 7 points, I'll enter with 3 contracts because it's a really small stop loss. If it's like 25 points, I'll enter with 1 or 2 contracts, probably 2 contracts. But if I'm feeling like a little more like a higher probability trade is looking clean, I'll take we have a really strong market. I'll take it 3 contracts. So I kind of like estimate it like the amount that I'm gonna lose based on the amount of points my stop loss is. Cause like after kind of using like the same strategy, you kind of estimate and you know like, okay, the stop loss is this big. If I enter with, for example, X amount of contracts, I'll lose about this amount. So it's not always exact, but it's like an estimation. That's what I do. I see as more strat, more confidence, more confident position. See, that's the thing, Audrey. That's not necessarily true all the time. Some conferences might not give you a higher probability and might not give you a better trade. Okay, that's just the reality of it. Some of them will, some of them won't. The more conferences you add, the more things you got to look out for, and you're more likely to potentially make a mistake in your execution because you're looking out for more things and potentially falling under analysis paralysis, right? Look at me. I keep my trading simple. I use one strategy. Now, there are traders that use multiple strategies and are profitable. Okay, don't get me wrong. I trade one strategy specifically, like at a time, just to keep things simple on my chart, keep things simple in my brain so I don't make any execution errors and go fall under analysis paralysis. But therapy session for Audrey. But my recommendation to you, go backtest one of the strategies, pick one of the strategies, or make a specific strategy. Can you guys hear me? Am I lagging? We're good. But pick one strategy that you like, and as well as you guys in the chat who are if you guys potentially also like fall under this specific style of trading where you make the same mistake. Lost my ethernet for a sec. If you guys also fall under this, pick one strategy that you really like or combine them, make a few confirmations for your entry, like 3 to 5 max, and then go and test that strategy. Okay? Test that strategy using those exact rules so you can get data on that specific strategy and then see if it's actually profitable or not, instead of just blindly using confluences without knowing if the strategy works. Like I've seen Argata work 1000%, but it's almost hard for me to believe that this simple trick keeps you profitable for that long. I don't know, maybe because it's not popular and it's not what I've learned, but it really like, I'm curious how long it's worked for you now. So I've been using a variation of the AroGator. I don't know how long, I think you've been here for a while, Algie. I don't know if you've seen me use the momentum scalps. That was my original strat that I've been using for a year and a half. And this is a very like similar variation of it, more mechanical version of it that I've tested and refined and made sure it works. So we've been using this for almost like a month and a half, 2 months. It's been working, and we're using the momentum scalps the past like year and a half, and it's been working as well. Yeah, it seems like basically a 2.0 modified version that's good for the current market and good for like you guys to learn it. So and yeah, you've been seeing it, like it works. Also, 100% what Rita said, backtest it if you don't know if it works. Backtesting is going to be your best friend. I think someone said it earlier in this chat. They backtested it with an average 1 to 2 R with a 50% win rate from the end of last year, like starting from October, someone said. So, like, they tested it. It works. I'm sure if you guys test it in the current market, it'll also work in the past year. So, like, if you don't believe in it, test it and you'll get your own results. And when you see the results yourself from you taking the setups, that will give you the confidence you need. Knowing the strategy works on its own with the data, and knowing like what the losing periods look like and knowing what the winning periods look like, that's when you kind of get better perspective. Go Armenian guy. For example, I know my strategy works because the data says it. Like, this is Rita's strat, for example. He backtested it for 152 trades, and he has a 61% win rate. He's made 30 grand on the account. I don't know what his RR. I think he's doing 1-to-1 RR. So 60% with a 1-to-1 RR, 61% with a 1-to-1 RR. That's profitable. That's profitable. How can you not take another trade until price reaches up to the highest point? Because when price is retraced really strong, that shows we're not really in a strong uptrend anymore. In order for me to get confirmation that we're in a strong uptrend, we needed to go all the way up to the swing high and break it. Because think about it. If we do this and we're like in this retracement period, in order for us to want to be assured that we're going to continue up and make a continuation of an uptrend, we need this high to get broken. Because in an uptrend, what do we have? Higher highs and higher lows. So in order to get another higher high, we need to break our full swing high for us to continue. Why is it clown to do 1-to-1 RRs? I see everyone clowning on 1-to-1. 100%. Everyone clowns on it, and the people that clown on it probably don't know what they're talking about. The reason they clown on it because, oh, you're not catching price, you're getting a small TP, you're not doing anything, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, like, the more you increase your RR, the lower win rate you're going to have, and there's nothing wrong with having a low win rate. I have a low RR, right? It's all about just what is your RR combined with your win rate. People are like, oh, higher RR you keep your winners big, you keep your losses small, but your RR doesn't matter if you don't take into account of your win rate. I can have a 1-to-10 RR, but if I have a 5% win rate, I'm unprofitable. All right, and you guys might be like, oh, 5% is so small. I'm 100% going to have at least a 20% win rate catching a 1-to-10 RR. I want you guys to try out on the chart. Try to catch like 30 trades. I promise you're having around like a 5 to 10% win rate. But your profitability for your strategy depends on your risk to reward in conjunction with your win rate, right? There's a specific variable for this called expected value, and it's not only in trading; it's in other kind of like fields as well, like in gambling as well. There's also expected value. Every single game has an expected value or average return, and you calculate that using your risk to reward and your win rate. For example, with a 1-to-1 risk to reward, in order to have a positive expected value, here comes the casino again. In order to have a positive expected value and a positive average return on your trade and have a positive strategy, you need to have at least a 50% win rate with a 1-to-1 RR, at least like a 55% win rate if you want to be like post fees and post commissions and post like spread and slippage, still be profitable. You need to have at least a 3 to 55% win rate with a 1-to-1 RR, right? Because if you have a 50% win rate, that's break even with a 1-to-1 RR. So, what do you think your win rate will be with 1-to-1? I think the win rate's probably going to be like 65%, maybe even 70%. But I have a variation of the strategy on the 1-minute time frame, and it has about like a 62%, 63% win rate. But there's not much data on that one. And the variation is like a 1-to-1 RR. What do you use to copy NinjaTrader? Blake, I use Replicanto. If you want to use it, I'll send you a link to it. It costs $160 with discount. So it's a one-time purchase, and you get. It's not my thingy, but it's not like I don't own it. But yeah, it's a one-time purchase, and you get to use it on like as many different platforms as you want. There's no limitation on how many accounts you can have. So. Yeah, but every strategy you trade, guys, understand your RR in conjunction with your win rate. Okay? if anyone tells you 1-to-1 R doesn't work or 1-to-5 R doesn't work, just know they have no idea what they're saying, and yeah, they're restarted. It's all about what is your risk reward with your win rate. If I have a 1-to-2 RR with a 30% win rate, I'm unprofitable. And most likely, if people say they have a 1-to-2 RR with a 80% win rate, with a 70% win rate, they're 70% win rate, they're probably not profitable, or it's just a like winning period for them, because that's definitely not sustainable. The sustainable strategies are usually the ones that are not crazy looking and are above kind of the break-even point. For example, a 1-to-1 RR with a 60% strategy, max probably like 70% win rate strategy. A 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio with a 40% win rate, maybe like even 50% win rate. Definitely not like 60 to 70%. 1-to-3, maybe around 30% win rate, max like probably 40% win rate. Right? The win rate drops as you increase your risk reward, because just based off probabilities, your take profit is a lot further away than your stop loss. For example, in a 1-to-3, our take profit is 3 times as far away than our stop loss. So price is more likely to go take our stop loss since it's a lot closer. And at most of the time, price is random. So it's almost like a 50-50 of it going up or down on the lower time frame. Okay. So just have that in mind. The higher your average RR, the lower your average win rate. On an individual trade, you don't know if it's going to work out or not. But on a larger scale, on a larger sample size, you want to like judge your performance on that. Depends on sample size, but most likely isn't. But if 1-to-1, 50% is break even, how would you make that? How would that make me profitable in the long run? No, Aji, I'm saying with a 1-to-1 RR, you need to have at least a 53 to 55% win rate, at least, to cover fees and expenses and slippage and spread and whatnot. At least a 53% win rate or 55% win rate to be safe. So, yeah. 50% with a 1-to-1 is break even. Or I don't know if wrong, but the Arogator gives more entries than momentum, right? Yeah, exactly. That's also why I like the Arogator too, because it gives more entries than the momentum scalps. But I think we have Powell speaking right now, so we're not going to take anything. But honestly, if Powell ends up continuing and like talking for a long period of time, I might just wrap things up early, just because we're probably not going to be definitely not taking a trade while Powell's speaking. So don't know if he started the live call yet. Let's see. He is speaking right now. Oh yeah, he is. CNBC television. Here's the link so you guys can check it out.
Estimates based on the Consumer Price Index and other data indicate that total PCE in prices.
He's not on my work TV yet. They got Daddy Trump on.
12 months ending in May, and that excluding the volatile.
Do you plan on charge for members or new members in the future? Honestly, I had it in mind for the future just because. First of all, the issue with the bots, there's a lot of people like complain to me that there's so many bots in the Discord, and having like a paid thing, like paywall behind it is gonna, okay, voice crack. Having a paywall behind it is gonna help that. But maybe in the future, but honestly, not like right now. I haven't really had like major plans right now. I think also having a small fee would help you guys out, because that gives you some risk on the line to make you guys want to lock in and actually put in the work. Because if you know you're paying for something and paying for like the education, you best believe you're going to get your most bang for your buck out of it and actually lock in and make sure you can make it work. So Yeah, it wouldn't be like a crazy price if I ever were to do it though. Yeah, I'm not gonna like jump scare you guys and tell you obviously it's free for the rest of the future forever. But yeah, don't have plans like haven't planned on it like at all though. Don't have anything set up or anything planned. But with that being said, team, hopefully you guys are able to catch some dubs today as well with Aro Gator strat um or with your own strategies. If you ever did have a paywall behind Discord, I wouldn't be upset at all. You give so much value for free. Hey, W's boozing, man. Appreciate it, man. I'm glad I can share value with you guys and actually help you guys out. You train tomorrow? I think I am. Why wouldn't I be? Do we have like any news to be worried about? Let me see. Holiday? Bank holiday? I don't see bank holiday. It says we have GDP. It says we have unemployment. We have pending home sales. But we don't even go live on TikTok. It's already wrapping up. Because I'm not going to trade anymore. So, like, I might just wrap it up. I'll go live for PM session. And we'll be live at that point. At like 3:30 p.m. But where do you guys see bank holiday? I don't see bank holiday. What day's a bank holiday, though? I think we had one last week. Last Thursday was bank holiday. This Thursday. Oh, we also have next Friday bank holiday. Interesting. You trade AM and PM? Nah, Daniel. I just go live on the PM to do like a market recap, look at Q&A on TikTok, strategy breakdown. Pretty much just like get people informed on stuff that a lot of people don't talk about. And just share kind of my knowledge and wisdom so people can join the right side. The side of education and proper learning. Oh, it is 4th of July. I'm retarded. Friday, 4th of July, bank holiday. But Daddy Trump come deport us. AroTrades not aware of the American holidays. How many trades you do a day? Jay-Z, I do about average like 2 trades a day. Some days I get 1 trade, some days I get 0 trades, some days I get what's it called? Maybe 3 trades, but most of them are like average 2 trades a day. Let's make the Discord not as expensive as Darrow's. How much is Darrow's Discord? I don't even know how much it is. But anyways, boys. See, with this specific trade, I think 99. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know how much it is. But yeah, this trade you see, we wouldn't enter off this. Reason being, this candle wicked past the red SMA. That makes the trade low quality. All right? That makes the trade low quality. So we're not going to enter that. We're only entering on trades like this where we don't touch the red SMA. Okay? So that'll be a wrap for today's short trading day. But, you know, we don't need to be on for too long. We're normally on till 11 a.m. every day catching trades. But if you guys are still trading, make sure you're following your rules, sticking to your strategy, not falling under analysis paralysis. That was probably one of the biggest things that I fell under. I'm not going to lie. Follow your strats, use risk management. Y'all know what you need to do, all right? Lock in, put in that work. Y'all got this shit, all right? Stay blessed, everybody. I'll catch y'all tomorrow or in the PM sessions on the TikTok for some more Q&A and trade recap. So tune into that. Or I'll just catch y'all tomorrow morning, 9:20 a.m. Same thing as today. All right, boys and girls. Be safe. Appreciate you, Mira. You too. Bless you, bro. God bless you too, man. Take care, fam. I'll see y'all in the PM or tomorrow. Stay blessed, y'all. Let's go. All right, hold on. I didn't end the YouTube stream. All right, YouTube. Let's wrap it up here.